We're approaching the end of the holiday season. Hey, in about a week, we'll be at the end of the year and we will have gone through another holiday. Over the past month, we've been sharing strategies to help you to get through the holidays without losing it. Today on Stress Talk Live, we're looking forward towards the new year. Today, we're going to talk about stressed women create easy ways to relieve stress in the new year. And we're going to do that in just a moment. Hi there. Welcome to Stress Talk Live with Marcyline. This is where we're helping women live healthier lives through strategic stress management. I want to welcome you tonight. And this is our last broadcast for the 2022 year. It's been a ride, it's been wonderful. I want to thank all of you for joining me. I want to thank all of you for sticking with me, even through some of the technical difficulties that we've had. I look forward to starting the new year with a bang. And that's what we're talking about today. We are talking about creating easy ways to relieve stress in the new year. Before I get to that, as always, I want to invite you to like, follow, and subscribe to ML Bailey Consultants on both Facebook, Faceback, Faceback on let me try that again on Facebook, Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. You'll find replays on Facebook and YouTube, and you'll also be able to access the podcast. Yes, there is a Stress Talk podcast. You'll access that. I usually post the link to the podcast on Instagram. So let's talk about our topic for the day, for the evening. Let's just dive into it, okay? So I wanted to talk about going into the next year, especially because I won't be on next week. I am traveling next week, and so I won't have an opportunity to spend time with you next week. But I wanted to talk about this topic because so many people create New Year's resolutions as they go into the new year. They're going to lose weight. So they resolve to lose weight. They resolve to change their eating habits and to eat better. They resolve to exercise. That might mean that they're going to go to the gym 3 times out of the week. They resolve to walk. They resolve to swim. So many people have New Year's resolutions, and those New Year's resolutions revolve around changing a behavior so that it is, so that they can have a healthier lifestyle as well as a better quality of life. But in all the years that I've talked to people about their New Year's resolutions, and in all the years that I have personally created New Year's resolutions, I have never, ever, 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 ever heard anyone create a New Year's resolution around stress management. I haven't. I've never heard that. Yeah. Isn't that something? It makes me wonder how we struggle so with stress, but we never think to resolve to lower the stress levels and to boost our energy. So, today on Stress Talk Live, I wanted to give you three actions that will help you to make this a priority for you, to make stress management, stress relief, stress reduction a priority for you. We all know that stress is killing us. We're stressed out. We're stressed at home. We're stressed at work. We're stressed on our way to different locations like the store, shopping, like to our kids' soccer games. We are stressed out. And so we want to and we need to make stress relief, stress reduction, stress management a priority. So I'm going to share these three things that you can do to make it a priority. Okay, are you ready? All right, well, here we go. Number one, first and foremost, you need to have a starting point. You need to have a starting point as well as a destination. So, what does that mean? Well, it's like going on a journey, and stress relief is a journey. How is it a journey? It's a journey because we have a place where we start and we have lots of places where we rest in between. And so until we get to our final destination. So, in terms of stress relief, you want to know, what type of stress do you experience? What type of stress? Often we're experiencing not one, not two, but several different types of stress at different times during the day and during the day. So, what types of stress are you experiencing? What level of stress are you experiencing? Is it a low level of stress? Is it ongoing level of stress? Is it a very high level of stress? What type of stress and what level of stress are you experiencing? This is very key as you're determining the starting point, right? Whenever you're taking a journey, whenever you're going on a trip, you always have a starting point. You start at home for the most part, you're starting at home and you have a destination in mind. It could be Paris, it could be Spain, it could be Wyoming, it could be Washington State. Perhaps it's Illinois, Ohio, Indiana, but you have a destination in mind, a place that you're going. Not only do you have a starting point as well as an end point, you also have a roadmap as to how you're going to get there. You know how you're going to get there, meaning the highways, the roads you're going to take. You might fly. You know the plane you're going to take. You know what time that plane is going to leave and what time that plane is supposed to arrive. If you're driving, you know how long the drive is, as well as knowing whether you're going to need to stop along the way to rest or go to the bathroom, right? So you have a roadmap, you have a plan that outlines how you're going to get to your destination. The same is key when we're talking about stress management. It is key because you want to know where you're starting. You want to know your starting point. As I previously said, what types of stress are you experiencing? What levels of stress are you experiencing? Is it varied? And if it is, how can you address all of those things as you're working towards reducing the overwhelming stress that you're experiencing? So that is very key. In addition to having an understanding of your starting point and your destination, you also want to know your why. Why? Why is it important for you to reduce the stress that you're experiencing? Taking a sip. Thank think about that. And actually, why don't you pop it into the chat? Those of you who are watching the replay, you're welcome to drop it into the chat as well. Why is it important for you to lower the stress that you're feeling or experiencing as you approach the new year or during the new year? For some, it will be because of health reasons. Their physical health is affected by their stress levels. For others, it will be that their relationships are negatively affected by their stress levels. But you want to know why this is important for you as you're beginning this journey of lowering your overwhelming stress and stress management. So that's the first thing, knowing your starting point and the destination that you want to reach. So there might be a question. What do I mean by destination? What I mean is we know what it feels like to be overwhelmed with stress, and we know what stress feels like. How do we want to feel when we lower stress? What is it that we want to experience? What is it that how will it look? How will it feel? What will we experience? That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about destination. Okay? So the second action that you want to take as you're going into the new year to lower your stress and to create a live a in a way that you're able to better manage your stress response. The second thing is to have a clearly defined plan. Mm. Remember, I talked about the roadmap that we often have when we're going on a trip. Another phrase, or another word that I could use is itinerary. What is your itinerary? What are you planning to do in order to lower your stress and maintain manageable stress levels? So, when I'm talking about lowering your stress, you never hear me say to get rid of stress, because we will always have stress. We do need it because stress can motivate us. So we do need it. It's a natural part of our existence, it's a natural part of our biology. So we have to have stress. What we want to do is lower the overwhelming stress that causes damage to our physical bodies. So what are you going to do? First, do you have the mentality? Meaning, do you have you made up your mind that this is a priority for you? Maintaining manageable stress levels. Is that going to be a priority next year? Do you have the wherewithal to um, recognize what your body experiences so that you can again take the actions that you need to lower that stress? So first, in your plan, making a decision to do it is first and foremost. Also, having being committed to it, that's also part of it. You will have the commitment. Have you made up your mind to do it? Are you steadfast in your decision to lower your stress levels so that they are manageable for you? Number two, do you have the means? Do you have what you need in order to lower your stress levels? When I'm talking about lowering stress levels, I'm talking about being able to do it in a way that fits you as well as your lifestyle. So, do you have the means to lower your stress, maintaining maintaining manageable stress levels? And if you don't, do you have a resource that you can go to learn about those the means, the ways in which you can do so? This brings me to the third thing, methods. What methods are you going to use? What strategies will you use to begin to lower your stress levels so that they are manageable? Mentality, means, as well as methods. Also, what's needed as you are creating a clearly defined plan is knowing again what you want to feel or experience in the way of lower stress. How will that feel? How will that look? What will that mean to you? So, ask yourself the question, do you currently have what you need to lower your stress and manage your current stress responses? Just you can drop your answer into the chat. Do you have what you need? Yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. Those are all answers that you can put into the chat. I'll give you a moment. So, we've talked about several things. We've talked about knowing your starting point and the destination as it relates to lower stress levels and managing to so that you're at a manageable point. We've also talked about having a clearly defined plan. The third action that you can take is accountability. Yes, accountability. We know that having accountability helps us to move forward when we have established a goal for ourselves. Why? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One main reason is that we don't want to disappoint the person that we're accountable to. We want that person to know that we are working towards our goal. We don't want to disappoint them. We want them to feel good about what they're hearing as well as feel good about us. So, having someone who you can be accountable to is very key in your plan to lower your stress levels. So, having an accountability partner is very important. The second thing with accountability is having access to resources that you may not necessarily know. Now, of course, we Google, right? I talk about that all the time. Googling resources for stress management, stress relief, or stress reduction. What you'll find are resources and ideas and tips, tricks that will help you in the short term. What I advocate is to understand and to learn strategies that will help you in long term so you can have long lasting stress relief. I'm not talking about short term relief, and I'm not talking about um, relief that you have to replenish, you have to constantly replenish. I'm talking about incorporating strategies into your life and your lifestyle that will provide ongoing, long lasting stress relief. So, the resources that you use, the resources that you have access to, are also very important in your desire to maintain manageable stress levels. And then the next thing that's important as it relates to accountability is to have someone you can just check in with. Someone who, if you're struggling, if you know you're having a moment, someone who can help you work through that so that it can shorten the time that you may experience overwhelming stress. Also, someone who can say, okay, this is what you can do to prevent going from 0 to 60, 0 to 60 when that situation occurs again. So, accountability is very important. Just like if you were exercising or starting an exercise routine, a lot of times when we're exercising or we want to lose weight or we want to get fit, we hire a coach, right? Or we hire a trainer. We hire someone who can get us to that point faster. Stress relief, stress reduction, and stress management is not any different. You want to have someone, you want to work with someone who has an expertise in the area who can help you to get from where you are to where you want to be in a much faster time. So, I have a question for you. And again, drop it in the chat. Those of you who are watching the replay, drop it in the chat. What will having manageable stress levels mean to you? What does that mean in the long run for you? What will that give you? How will that improve your quality of life? Drop it in the chat for me. So, I know this is a quick one, but I'm going to summarize all of the things that we've talked about so far. First of all, I talked about stressed women create easy ways to relieve stress in the new year. And those ways are ways in which I believe will help you to jumpstart your stress relief and your long term stress management. First, you want to know your starting point as well as your destination. You want to know where your stress levels currently are. Where are they? Are they variable? Does it depend on the situation? And what type of stress do you experience? That's very important. You want to know your starting point. You also want to know your destination. What will it feel like for you? What will you experience when your stress levels are at a manageable level? When you are able to be in a situation that is uncomfortable, that would normally drive your stress levels up, but you're staying very even. So you want to know your starting point as well as your destination. Next, you also want to have a clearly defined plan. And clearly defined plans always have, or I shouldn't say they always, but they're measurable. They are measurable. They're clear, they're measurable so that you know you're making progress. So you'll have SMART goals, right? You'll have a goal, you'll have action steps, and you will know that every time you've completed an action step, you're getting closer to your goal. So you want a clearly defined plan. Third, you also want accountability. You want accountability with someone who can work with you, a partner, someone who will partner with you on your journey, someone who can provide resources for you that you can't just Google and find, but someone who will provide resources as well as opportunities to check in so that you know if you're having a moment, you can check in with that person and that person can help you to bring it down, even if it's bringing it down slowly. So, I wanted to share these things with you because I also wanted to let you know that I am someone who can partner with you. I can help you to determine where you are currently, where you want to go, as well as how you're going to get there. What is your plan? I can help you develop a plan to lower your stress levels to a manageable point, not just for the short term, but for the long term. And then I can also provide resources for you that you might not be able to just Google and use. Resources to help you get to the destination that you desire much, much faster. I've popped the link up. This is my tap link, and it will give you a link to a number of resources that I have for you. Number one, I want you to take the quiz. The quiz is called, Are You Blessed, Stressed, or Burned Out? This is the first step in starting your journey of stress management in the new year. The quiz, Are You Blessed, Stressed, or Burned Out, will give you your starting point. It's going to tell you exactly where you are. It's going to give you the level of stress that you're experiencing, as well as a few resources to get you started. So I want you to take that quiz because I believe that is going to be that's definitely where you need to start. Again, it tells you where your starting point is. It will also give you a clue as to where your destination will be or should be. So go to this link, and then take the quiz. That's the first step. Ooh, this was a quick one. I am so glad that you joined me today. As always, I'm going to invite you to like, follow, and subscribe to ML Bailey Consultants. That's right, ML Bailey Consultants on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Follow me, and make sure you join me every Sunday at 7 p.m. for Stress Talk Live, except for next week because I'm traveling again. Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I hope you have a very blessed holiday, very blessed Christmas. Happy Hanukkah to those of you who celebrate Hanukkah. Merry Christmas to those of you who celebrate Christmas. And happy Kwanzaa to my brothers and sisters out there who celebrate and celebrate Kwanzaa, which begins the day after Christmas. I'm Marcyline Bailey. That's all for now. As always, take good care.